Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to this maybe a little bit longer program than usual from me. But I'd like to make a disclosure of a thing right up front. I'm a John G. Lake healing practitioner certified by that ministry that's founded or now works with the John G. Lake background of that training is by Curry Blake now. So if you're interested in understanding the concepts and the teachings of John G. Lake, who literally emptied hospitals out at the turn of the century. If you don't know anything about John G. Lake healing schools, look up Curry Blake. He's in charge of that training now. And you get that training, I believe, online. I went to actually training from him himself, made a trip and actually took the training from Curry Blake himself. But I want to talk about now the supernatural healing and medicine. That's a big question for some people. Is it supernatural healing, or is it going to the doctor, or perhaps it's both? But there's always a question about the relationship between supernatural healing and medicine. It often comes up in various ways. I've been doing this many years. I find it comes up in many ways. But this is not really surprising. Once a Christian has acknowledged that supernatural healing is possible, and by the way, it is. So if you don't believe it's possible, well, you got a whole other belief to overcome. Then he or she is likely to wonder about the relationship between what seems to be two different ways to approach getting well. Well, maybe there's not two. Maybe God uses both in a way that can bring a sense of healing. This is further complicated by widely different views on this subject. And it is. There's some even organizational religious groups who do not believe in going to the doctor whatsoever. And there are some, well, they go to the doctor at the drop of a hat and they don't really have a inside understanding concerning supernatural healing. And that's another group's. So there's a divide between those two. But the Christ-centered approach is this. The Christ-centered approach is this. We draw our understanding of God's will in healing from Christ. Well, He is the healer. And we have to draw our understanding of healing from Him. Now, this approach to healing has borne much fruit and has, I've seen it many years. Being Christ-centered goes beyond being aware of the importance of the cross in the matters of healing, but it is awareness. That's the key word I want to leave you with here today. It is the awareness that Christ shows us the perfect will of the Father in His actions, attitudes, teachings, and commands. Are we aware that it is possible, in fact, very likely, that you can evoke God's supernatural healing because He's always at hand, because He's one with us? That's just the truth. Therefore, when serious questions about matters of healing in our ministry arises, we answer them according to what we see in Christ's ministry. What direct evidence can we draw from Christ's ministry concerning medicine and doctors? Now this is going to get interesting here. Christ is identifying with doctors in a positive way. So there's not anything negative about the fact that we go to a doctor. In fact, Christ is declaring Himself to be a physician to the people. That was something they could understand. There's not a hint of condemnation of doctors or medicine for that fact. It is an endorsement of both. Additionally, there is another positive statement by Christ about medicine or about doctors. It only appears in Luke's gospel. Luke writes, this is Luke writing, and he, Christ, said to them, no doubt you will quote this proverb to me, physician, heal yourself. Let me say that one more time. Physician, heal yourself. Whatever we heard was done at Capernaum, do here in your hometown as well, according to Luke 4:23. Paul is supportive of Luke's profession as a doctor. Paul did not have to mention that Paul was a doctor. He would not have mentioned it if he had not agreed with it. He had no negative belief about Luke being a doctor. Yet the Apostle Paul makes it plain that he approves of Luke being a doctor. Paul does not distinguish Luke as a different kind of physician who doesn't really use medicine because he believes in healing. That idea is certainly not present here. That idea cannot be addressed to support someone's negative view of doctors when that idea is not found in the New Testament. It's up to you, my friend, to go to the doctor or receive divine healing, or perhaps you will do both. And I've done both, quite frankly. I have received divine healing and I have received help from my doctor. So there's no condemnation by going to the doctor, and certainly no condemnation by receiving your healing, because the word sozo in Greek is a fantastic word that I want to leave with you to look up. Go look up the Greek word sozo. Sozo, deliverance, healing, restoration, soundness of mind, preservation. Healing in many different ways and different ideas about healing in that Greek word sozo. So I'll leave you with that challenge today to do your own research about this topic, and especially look at the word sozo. So is everything I say and do. Always just simply be blessed, my friend, because you have already been, according to Ephesians 1:3. Bye bye now.